Life, as you know it, is a series of connections. We meet people, form bonds, and often tether our emotions to these relationships. But what happens when those bonds loosen or break? How do you navigate the emotional storm when someone drifts away, or worse, when you realize their emotional investment was never equal to yours? The Stoics, masters of emotional clarity, offer a path forward. But this isn't a path of apathy or cold detachment. Instead, it's about achieving emotional freedom, liberating your mind from the turmoil of over-attachment. Imagine a life where your peace is unshaken by others' actions. Would you dare to walk that path? Stay with me as we explore 5 powerful Stoic rules that will transform how you view relationships and, more importantly, how you respond when they change. These timeless principles, drawn from the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius and other Stoic philosophers, promise not just emotional resilience, but a profound sense of inner peace. And here's the twist. The most liberating insight lies at the end, so be sure to stay through. Let's begin. 1. Reflect on the bigger picture. When you're entangled in emotional distress, perspective becomes your most valuable tool. Think of the last time you were overwhelmed by a relationship. Perhaps it felt like your entire world was crumbling. But was it, really? Or was it merely your mind narrowing its focus, fixating on a single thread in the vast tapestry of your life? The Stoics remind us that our individual troubles, no matter how consuming they may feel, are fleeting moments in the grand expanse of time. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." This isn't a morbid thought, it's a liberating one. Life is transient, and our struggles, though real, are but temporary ripples in an ever-flowing river. Ask yourself, in 5 years, will this pain still dominate your thoughts? How many past heartbreaks or disappointments do you vividly recall today? Chances are, the edges of those memories have softened, their emotional grip loosened. Reflecting on the impermanence of all things shifts your perspective. It allows you to see that your current pain, no matter how sharp, will dull with time. Yet, we often let our emotions magnify situations. A falling out with a friend becomes a testament to our inadequacy. A breakup feels like the end of our happiness. But pause for a moment and ask, is this person truly the center of my universe, or have I made them so? The truth is, no single person or event defines your existence. You are a complete individual, navigating a life rich with countless experiences and relationships. Why then, let one moment overshadow the entirety of your journey? By embracing the bigger picture, you start to see life not as a series of isolated tragedies, but as a continuous narrative of growth and change. Each relationship, no matter how impactful, is but a chapter in a story that is uniquely yours. The person who once seemed indispensable may, in time, be a distant memory. What remains constant is you, your thoughts, your choices, your resilience. Consider this. Marcus Aurelius, an emperor burdened by immense responsibility, often reflected on the insignificance of human struggles in the vastness of the cosmos. How ridiculous and how strange to be surprised at anything which happens in life, he mused. If even an emperor could view his challenges with such detachment, can we not strive to do the same in our personal lives? So, next time you feel consumed by emotional pain, zoom out. Picture your life as a small but meaningful part of a greater whole. Remember, this moment of suffering is temporary. What matters is not the storm, but how you navigate it. And as you shift your focus to the broader perspective, you'll find yourself ready to embrace the next Stoic rule: accepting impermanence. 2. Embrace the impermanence of life. Impermanence is the natural rhythm of existence. Everything in life is subject to change, yet we cling to the illusion of permanence, particularly in our relationships. Why do we hold so tightly to things we know are fleeting? The answer lies in our fear. The fear of losing what we hold dear, of facing life without certain people, of confronting the unknown. But Marcus Aurelius offers a liberating perspective. Loss is nothing else but change, and change is nature's delight. The Stoic understanding of impermanence isn't a call to pessimism. It's an invitation to live fully in the present, free from the anxiety of future loss. Think about your most cherished relationships. Have you ever noticed how the fear of losing them often overshadows your ability to enjoy them? You worry about a friend growing distant, a partner losing interest, or the inevitability of separation by death. Yet, these very fears rob you of the joy available in the present moment. If you were to fully accept that every connection has its natural lifespan, how would that change the way you engage with others? Imagine holding a handful of sand at the beach. The tighter you squeeze, the more it slips through your fingers. Relationships are much the same. Clinging only accelerates the sense of loss. But what if instead you let the sand rest gently in your palm, appreciating its presence for as long as it remains? This is the Stoic approach to relationships. Embrace them fully, but without attachment to their permanence. In one of my own friendships, which spanned over a decade, I found myself resisting the slow fade of intimacy. The more I tried to preserve what once was, the more strained the connection became. It wasn't until I accepted that our friendship had run its course that I could release the emotional weight. The memories remained, but the need to force continuity dissolved. Marcus Aurelius would have urged the same, to understand that relationships, like seasons, have their time and place. They enrich our lives not by lasting forever, but by existing when they do. The Stoics teach that by embracing impermanence, we reduce the suffering that accompanies loss. Does this mean you won't feel the sting of separation? Certainly not, but it does mean you'll approach life's inevitable changes with greater composure. You'll learn to cherish people for who they are, in the moment, rather than anchoring your happiness to their constant presence. This principle is beautifully captured in another of Aurelius's reflections. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. The end of a relationship, be it through distance, death, or a natural drift, is one such outside event. How you respond to it, however, is within your control. Accepting impermanence doesn't make you indifferent. It makes you resilient. It frees you from the torment of expecting the impossible, unchanging permanence in a world defined by change. Ask yourself, when was the last time you truly appreciated someone without taking their presence for granted? When did you last accept a goodbye, not with bitterness, but with gratitude for the shared time? These are the moments when Stoicism transforms loss into an opportunity for growth and reflection. To embrace impermanence is to liberate yourself from the chains of fear and attachment. It is to live more fully, love more deeply, and let go more gracefully. As we move to the next Stoic rule, we'll explore how mastering your emotions through rational thought can further strengthen this emotional freedom. 3. Master your emotions through rational thought. When emotions run high, they often cloud our judgment, making it difficult to see situations clearly. Have you ever been consumed by feelings of anger, sadness, or anxiety, only to look back later and wonder why those emotions seemed so overwhelming? The Stoics believed that such emotional storms arise not from external events, but from our interpretation of them. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment. This insight is crucial. Emotions, while natural, are not facts. They are reactions shaped by our thoughts and beliefs. Stoicism teaches us that by examining and reinterpreting our thoughts, we can regain control over our emotional responses. The key lies in rational thought, a practice of stepping back, questioning our assumptions, and seeking the truth of a situation. Consider a common scenario. You send a heartfelt message to a friend, but hours pass without a response. What's your immediate reaction? Perhaps you feel slighted, assuming they're upset with you or don't value your relationship. The longer the silence, the more your mind spirals, crafting narratives of rejection or neglect. But pause for a moment. What are the facts? The only truth is that they haven't replied. Everything else, your fears, assumptions, and conclusions, are interpretations, not reality. This is where Stoicism offers a powerful tool: rational examination. Instead of allowing your emotions to spiral, you challenge your thoughts. Ask yourself, what evidence do I have to support these feelings? Are my assumptions grounded in fact or fueled by fear? More often than not, you'll find that your initial emotional response is based on incomplete or misinterpreted information. In my own life, I've faced moments where unchecked emotions led to unnecessary suffering. I remember a time when a close friend seemed distant, and I quickly assumed I had done something wrong. My mind raced through recent conversations, searching for possible missteps. It wasn't until I confronted these thoughts rationally that I realized I was projecting my insecurities. When I finally reached out, I discovered they were simply overwhelmed with their own challenges. The emotional storm I had endured was entirely self-inflicted. Marcus Aurelius teaches us that the mind holds power over how we perceive the world. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This strength comes from the ability to detach from automatic emotional reactions and instead approach situations with clarity and reason. Imagine applying this principle during a painful breakup. It's natural to feel devastated, replaying every moment of the relationship and questioning where things went wrong. But the Stoic approach shifts the focus. Instead of dwelling on emotions, you ask, what are the facts of this situation? What can I learn from it? By reframing your thoughts, you begin to see the breakup not as a personal failure, but as an opportunity for growth and self-reflection. Stoicism doesn't ask us to suppress our emotions or deny their existence. Rather, it invites us to understand them as temporary and malleable, shaped by our internal dialogue. The Stoic practice of rational thought helps us navigate emotional turbulence, ensuring that we respond to life's challenges with wisdom rather than impulse. Here's a simple exercise to try. The next time you feel an intense emotion, pause and identify the thought behind it. Write it down. Then, examine it as if you were an outsider. Is this thought based on objective truth, or is it colored by fear, insecurity, or assumption? This practice, though simple, can dramatically alter your emotional landscape. Now, I'd like to hear from you. Have you noticed similar patterns in your own relationships or experiences? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your insights could help others recognize and challenge their own emotional responses. And if you're finding value in these Stoic lessons, don't forget to like this video. It helps bring these timeless teachings to a wider audience. As we move forward, we'll explore another transformative Stoic exercise: negative visualization. This practice might seem counterintuitive at first, but it holds profound power in helping us prepare for and accept life's inevitable losses. 4. Practice negative visualization. At first glance, the idea of deliberately imagining worst-case scenarios might seem counterproductive, even unsettling. Why would anyone choose to visualize losing someone they care about or facing significant hardship? Wouldn't this practice invite unnecessary pain? Yet, for the Stoics, this exercise, known as negative visualization, is one of the most powerful tools for cultivating resilience and emotional detachment. Marcus Aurelius wisely wrote, "Do not disturb yourself by imagining the whole of your life's troubles at once. Rather, As each arises, meet it with calmness and self-control. This statement encapsulates the essence of negative visualization. By mentally preparing for potential losses or challenges, you reduce their emotional impact if or when they occur. Far from being a pessimistic exercise, it is an act of preemptive strength and clarity. Imagine, for a moment, a relationship that holds great meaning for you. Perhaps it's with a romantic partner, a lifelong friend, or a close family member. Now, envision your life without them. How does that feel? Likely, it's uncomfortable and painful. That discomfort is precisely why this exercise is so effective. By confronting the possibility of loss in your mind, you gradually desensitize yourself to its power. You begin to see that life would continue, that you would adapt, and that your happiness isn't solely dependent on this one connection. I remember practicing negative visualization when my best friend was preparing to move abroad. For years, we had been nearly inseparable, and the thought of their absence filled me with dread. Every shared moment felt heavier, weighted by the looming separation. But instead of avoiding the pain, I leaned into it. I allowed myself to picture daily life without their presence. The quiet evenings, the solo adventures, the changes in routine. At first, it hurt, but over time, it became a source of strength. By the time they actually left, I felt surprisingly composed. The pain was still there, but it no longer felt overwhelming. I had already walked through that emotional landscape in my mind. Negative visualization serves another crucial purpose. It deepens our gratitude for the present. When you actively imagine losing something or someone, you appreciate them more fully in the here and now. The Stoics believed that most of our suffering comes not from the events themselves, but from our resistance to accepting them. By anticipating life's inevitable changes, we shift our mindset from fear to gratitude. This practice also aligns with another core Stoic belief, that loss is a natural part of life. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the transient nature of existence, reminding himself that everything that exists is in a manner the seed of that which will be. Relationships, possessions, even life itself are temporary. When we accept this, we free ourselves from the false expectation of permanence. Instead of clinging to the illusion that we can hold on to everything forever, we learn to let go gracefully. You might wonder, does this mean we should detach ourselves entirely from those we love? Not at all. Negative visualization doesn't encourage apathy, but rather prepares us to face life's inevitable losses with equanimity. It allows us to engage deeply and meaningfully in our relationships while remaining resilient to their potential end. In essence, it's a practice of loving fully without being enslaved by fear. Take a moment to reflect on your own life. Are there relationships or possessions you take for granted? How might your perspective shift if you imagined losing them? Would you act differently, appreciate them more? This exercise is not about inducing sorrow, but about grounding yourself in reality. Life is fleeting, and every connection is a gift, not a guarantee. Through negative visualization, you build an emotional buffer, a kind of mental armor that shields you from being blindsided by life's inevitable changes. It doesn't remove the pain of loss, but diminishes its power to destabilize you. It's a tool for cultivating inner strength, teaching you that no matter what happens, you will endure. As we move forward, we'll explore the next Stoic rule, focusing on what you can control. This principle, perhaps more than any other, is the cornerstone of emotional freedom and resilience. 5. Focus on what you can control. At the heart of Stoic philosophy lies a simple yet profound principle. Focus only on what you can control. This rule is not just a tool for navigating relationships, but a cornerstone for achieving emotional freedom in all aspects of life. Marcus Aurelius captured this perfectly when he wrote, You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. When it comes to emotional detachment, this principle becomes indispensable. Much of the pain we experience in relationships stems from trying to control things that are, by their nature, beyond our reach. Have you ever tried to influence how someone feels about you? Perhaps you've gone out of your way to gain someone's approval or to make them care for you in the way you care for them. How did that feel? Exhausting, wasn't it? That's because you were fighting a battle you could never win, attempting to control someone else's emotions or actions. The Stoics understood that the more you invest your energy in things outside your control, the more you open yourself to unnecessary suffering. Consider this. You're in a friendship where the other person has started to pull away. You notice they reply less often, cancel plans more frequently, and seem less engaged. Naturally, you feel hurt. But what happens next? Do you obsess over what you might have done wrong? Do you try harder to win back their attention? If so, you're attempting to control their behavior, a futile endeavor. Instead, the Stoic approach would have you shift your focus inward. Ask yourself, what's within my control here? The answer is simple: your thoughts, your actions, your responses. You can't make someone value your friendship, but you can choose how you react to their distance. Do you continue to chase after them, or do you redirect your energy toward nurturing relationships where mutual respect and care are present? In my own life, I once found myself in a similar situation. I was in a relationship where I felt like I was constantly trying to keep things together. Every effort I made felt unreciprocated, and the harder I tried, the more frustrated and anxious I became. It wasn't until I embraced the Stoic principle of focusing on what I could control that I found peace. I realized I couldn't force the other person to feel differently or act differently. What I could do was choose to value my own emotional well-being. This realization wasn't just freeing, it was transformative. Focusing on what you can control also means letting go of the need for specific outcomes. How often do we tie our happiness to the fulfillment of certain expectations? If they love me, I'll feel worthy. If they appreciate my efforts, I'll be content. But these are illusions of control, placing your sense of worth in the hands of others. The Stoics teach us to break free from this cycle. Your self-worth is not determined by how others perceive you, but by your own actions and values. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that external events, be it the behavior of others, the outcomes of relationships, or the passing of time, are beyond our influence. The only domain over which we have absolute authority is our mind. By anchoring your peace to this internal locus of control, you become impervious to the turbulence of external circumstances. Imagine how different your life would be if you fully embraced this principle. The next time someone disappoints you, instead of ruminating on their actions, ask, what is within my control right now? Perhaps it's setting a boundary, choosing not to take their behavior personally, or simply letting go of the expectation that they'll act a certain way. This shift in focus is empowering. It puts you back in the driver's seat of your emotional well-being. As you begin to practice this rule, you'll notice a profound change in your relationships. No longer will you feel the need to control or manipulate situations to protect your happiness. Instead, you'll approach life with a calm detachment, confident in your ability to handle whatever comes your way. Now, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you ever found peace by focusing on what you can control? Share your experiences in the comments below. Your stories might inspire others on their journey toward emotional resilience. And if these Stoic principles resonate with you, give this video a like. It helps spread these teachings to more people seeking clarity and strength. As we move to our conclusion, we'll tie all 5 Stoic rules together, exploring how they collectively guide us toward a life of greater emotional freedom and inner peace. Emotional detachment, as taught by the Stoics, is not about shutting down or becoming indifferent. Instead, it is about cultivating resilience, clarity, and peace in the face of life's inevitable changes. Through the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius and other Stoic thinkers, we've explored 5 transformative rules that guide us toward this state of inner liberation. By reflecting on the bigger picture, you learn to step back from immediate emotional turmoil and see your challenges as fleeting moments in the vast expanse of your life. This broader perspective helps you realize that no single event or person defines your entire existence. Through embracing the impermanence of life, you come to accept that all things, including relationships, are transient. This acceptance frees you from the false hope of permanence and allows you to cherish the present without clinging to it. By mastering your emotions through rational thought, you gain the ability to challenge the automatic, often irrational interpretations that fuel emotional suffering. You learn to govern your mind, shaping your emotional responses with clarity and wisdom. With negative visualization, you prepare yourself for life's inevitable losses. This practice builds resilience and gratitude, helping you navigate challenges with greater composure and acceptance. Finally, by focusing on what you can control, you reclaim your power. You stop chasing after the impossible, controlling external events or others' emotions, and instead focus on your own actions and mindset. This shift brings immense relief and a profound sense of empowerment. Together, these 5 rules form a powerful framework for emotional detachment. They teach you to live fully, love deeply, and let go gracefully. They remind you that peace and happiness are not found in external circumstances, but within your own mind. As you begin to apply these principles, remember that Stoicism is a practice, not a destination. You will face moments of struggle, and that's okay. Growth comes from engaging with these challenges, learning from them, and moving forward with greater strength. Now, I'd like to hear from you. Which of these Stoic rules resonates with you the most? Have you tried applying any of these principles in your own life? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your insights could provide valuable guidance for others on their journey. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with anyone who might benefit from these timeless teachings. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of Stoicism. May you find the inner peace and resilience to navigate life's challenges with strength and clarity. Stay mindful, stay strong, and remember, you are in control of your own mind.